Hi everyone, it's Zach with Palantir Research. Palantir's major customers revealed how valuable Palantir is to their organization, with one actually showing quantitative metrics. Palantir released 4 Palantir pre-lightning talks that revealed how major clients are utilizing Palantir and the value of AIP bootcamps, of getting solutions built out fast, as well as general feedback of their experience. There were 4 in total with Lowe's, the New York Stock Exchange, Boston Consulting Group or BCG, and Mount Sinai Hospital. So I'll go through what we learned from each of these videos, saving the best for last in my opinion. So first, starting with Lowe's. They opened up hot with speed to value and being able to work with Palantir's engineers and that experience. So the last 2 days from their bootcamp, they were able to work together. They posted a picture actually up with Carp working together with them, and they went through a store together to come up with ideas on how they can help. But the highlights from their story is that Lowe's is dealing with a huge supply chain and trying to optimize that. When trying to solve for data for long periods of time, the first part of the story, he said, is that they were able to get their data into the ontology up and running within 3 weeks. And then from there, he said there is no shortage of use cases since they have that foundation all set up now. But the second part too, all of those forward deployed engineers from Palantir was a refreshing experience for them instead of working with sales folks, and he's an engineer himself. So the common connecting point of them working with those engineers and the tech focus really built this relationship so quickly. And then 3, he said generative AI is getting everyone just to the starting line here. That's his philosophy. And to me, that really means Palantir is truly that infrastructure play for an organization to even get everyone on the same page and start innovating and start the race while improving together going forward. So awesome insights from Lowe's. And then from the New York Stock Exchange, they started getting to know Palantir around a decade ago. So it's a really long-lasting relationship. And it really was to solve getting information to the people and customers that need it and want it as soon as possible. They're hungry for it, basically, like you said. Palantir was the bridge to this gap because they're good at tying data together from these disparate sources with trading, settlement, as well as regulatory filing data and making it all work together. So they continued to build and build with Palantir and was able to build a solution dealing with daily data. And at the scale that the New York Stock Exchange is working on, it's massive, and noted it was an overwhelmingly positive response from the NYSE. And then for the Boston Consulting Group, they're a different angle here, which is they're using Palantir to build applications for clients. So they're not necessarily the endpoint customer here, but they're still customers in a way. But either way, the proponents of Palantir and partnering with them is rolling out to these clients here at the end. So they're thinking about foundational capabilities as well as deploying it without having to rebuild everywhere. And he notes this is the secret sauce of Palantir and why BCG likes them. The example he shared was an end-to-end sales cycle for an asset manager client. So with the application they built, they were able to share all the data that was relevant for these customers, as well as that salesperson gets everything needed at that point in time in the beginning of the day. But with the feedback they get throughout the day and working with the clients, it feeds right back into the system so that it's an actual living being here and you're able to get the most up-to-date information at all times. And this is all powered by Palantir. And then another point that they note is the usage of unstructured data. So this is from the engineering side, which a lot of organizations can struggle with. And they called Palantir the perfect ecosystem to actually implement AI end-to-end across different use cases. So BCG seems to be happy with the flexibility and control of using Palantir across their different clients. And then maybe I'm biased, but I think Mount Sinai shared the best information with them based out in Chicago, of course, on the west side here. So maybe I'm a little bit biased myself. They talked about being able to bring care to the right patients at the right time. And that's honestly crucial. Being able to do this requires technology where they need to actually make a change in their processes in real time as data comes in. And that's how they started out with Palantir. They went live with their first pilot in a little over 4 months, where they had the clinical criteria of emergency department patients that could be reached out earlier and treated in their hospitals or at home, or another clinic or hospital that has the availability in their beds. So being able to identify these patients earlier and moving them around to different levels of care allowed them to get a hold of these patients, where they found being proactive actually lowered the average length of stay by 1.5 days. So even though they come in earlier, they leave earlier as well. And then for scale, they added back 20 beds per month without building out any new net beds here. And that's crucial. With your existing assets, they're able to actually get more out of them. So the annualized ROI, and she gives this exactly as $1.5 million, which she pointed out is a change in just one department at one hospital. So they are happy to scale this across more hospitals and clinical care settings and to treat sepsis patients, which I've actually noted before, which is a huge financial as well as clinical burden for hospitals, and it can hit them hard here. So they actually want to get this problem also solved as well. So like I said, I've worked in the healthcare industries myself on the data side here, and it really is nice to have this insight and getting validated to the use cases that they're actually implementing this for. But thank you for watching. I think these were all great from the different customers and nice and quick to the point, and I'll see you in the next video.